Have you ever felt like there's a hidden agenda behind the chaos and confusion of our times? Are you tired of being told what to think and believe? Well, you are.
They were manager speak.
Manager speak, that's right.
Manager speak.
If you read something and it's putting you to sleep.
You made those together.
It was probably.
Petersen ain't got a clue what he's talking about. Really, he's like a roller coaster ride, Petersen. One minute he comes out with something that makes sense, like he's sort of opposing these, World Economic Forum and so forth. And then he's just going off about, crazy clowns and stuff like that in the most shallowest, uneducated, non-detailed, non-specific and non-explanative sort of way. And then he expects you to treat him like some sort of genius shrink, who's actually, faced losing his license. He's been up in front of his own education board, his own... the people who issue, his license, he's been up in front of them for, various complaints against him. The thing with the scary clown motif, like from the It film, is firstly, to start with, the majority of these films have all been controlled by the rich and powerful, including Epstein circles, which, Philip and Andrew in the military-industrial complex have been orchestrating. Look at Steven Spielberg coming out with his Sloth in the Cellar and Chocolate, which is an insult to everyone, with the wiggly ears and so forth. There's always some sort of joke you can have, keeping him in the cellar or whatever. That's Spielberg for a start. If you want a horror film, there's one right there, and they're showing it to kids. If they ain't going to frighten kids, I don't know what is, But mainly, the thing with, you see, what Petersen doesn't know, because he's not interested, with the whole It motif, is that they like to... Everyone criticises their opposition, no matter who they are, because everyone's opposed to something or other. But the thing with the whole, particularly the It film, is the whole, it tries to make that appearance out to be bad or negative or evil, so forth. But the thing is that, that the whole persona on appearance it's fake, it's false. This caricature doesn't actually really look like that. It's got stick-on parts, add-on parts, false parts, plastic parts, like comic relief, and there's makeup. There's the irony in the whole fact that the females and women put makeup on anyway in the first place, There's this human which is made like a doll, painted people, made not to look like they do, made to look different to what they do look like. But the whole fact with the thing with the clown thing is this: it goes for this round shape, but that's actually not what the creature itself is. It's trying to look like that, and the whole thing is, the whole motif behind that is trying to make that look scary. Okay, this look, whenever you think of this look, we want you to think of like scary and evil. So they're trying to, they're really going out of the way to try and make it up like that's evil. But the thing is that it's not even the real way that creature looks. Because, no clown actually looks like that. It's all false and makeup. So the real appearance, if it was an evil character, it wouldn't actually look like that. So what would the evil character look like without that makeup on? One begs to, question. And the thing about humour, the entire basis of humour, when do people laugh? Let's strip it right back down from all these comedy, stage shows, circus. Let's just go right back to laughing, right? When do you laugh? So there are only a few times when you laugh. Usually, if you get tickled, and usually tickling is because of, pain. But it brings out, instead of crying, it brings out the opposite. You can kind of die of laughter. you know. And then you've also got, if you actually are having fun, but what is fun? I mean, if you are, you know, playing a ball game or whatever, if the ball goes into a garden, or if, you know, you make some comment, an incident happens, something happens that you comment on it, you know, or if someone falls over and trips over, that's a bad thing, but you laugh. So it's, you know, even sometimes you laugh at yourself. Usually, if you hurt yourself, you get bad energy, negative energy, you know, if you cut your finger, if you hurt your leg, anything like that. But this ability of the human to transmutate bad into good, try and transform it, therefore you are, you know, trying to get a positive out of it. Where do you get positives from? I get positives from when I had my rabbits. You know, my rabbit came over to give me pure love, right? It charged me. It actually charged me so powerfully that, you know, I've never seen, you know, Pope Francis charge anyone with so much power, right? And that's given freely. When people, you know, care about you, the problem with people like Petersen is these narcissists get addicted to that, and they like the crowds. They need everyone to approve them, you know, accredit them, accolade them, and then they get addicted to it. And then you get, like, you know, these Claudia Winkleman, Zoe Ball, up in front of the audience, Joe Wiley. They've got to have, you know, more people, and they've all got to be praising them and clapping, and then it's charging them with this immense energy, and then it's all about them. But then what you're doing is getting everyone else to be your worshippers, you know. Let's charge him. If you want to get charged, you know, go put someone's window through, you know. No one laughs at that. The policeman don't come along and laugh at it, go, ha, 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 the laughing policeman. You know, put someone, you know, knock someone out, nut someone. You know, nut Petersen, boom, nut him, bang, nut him, straight out, bang. You know, does the policeman come and walk past and go, ha, 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 ho, ho, oh, ha, 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 ha. No, he doesn't. He arrests him. He doesn't turn it into, the thing is, the policeman doesn't laugh. Maybe some policemen are laughing, you know, smiling behind, but, you know, so the whole, you know, why scary clown? Well, clowns aren't usually scary at the circus, because circuses usually involve animals doing tricks, feats, balancing things, stuff like that. When I was doing extreme sports, you know, and things like that, it started to feel a bit clowny when you're trying to balance on something, when you're trying to balance on a board like a surfboard or whatever it is, you know, like, or going, you know, on one of those, you know, water things, you know, with the wakeboards or whatever, you know, you end up starting to feel, you know, I'm a circus performer, you know, why are these balancing tricks, you know, are you trying to entertain people? So there's an entertainment, why do it, you know, because after all, you know, they practice in private and then they come out and do the tricks, you know, for applause, to entertain, you know. But the more scarier thing about the whole circus thing is the whole ringmaster thing. The whole thing, there's a master of the ring, and he's orchestrating everything, and everything's under his control. What's scary about the scary clown thing is that why aren't they orchestrating everything so everything is going well and everyone's happy? What actually happens in real life is that there are things happening that they claim they're doing for good, but bad's happening. Like we had all this thing with the pandemic, and now you've got John Campbell saying, you know, it's not that good. Parliament don't want to debate it. You know, there's all the sweets. Have a donut. Oh, yeah, it's nice. It tastes nice. But, you know, people putting weight on, getting fat. Oh, it's bad. So that is the aspect of it, that all the things on offer are good, but they actually are doing harm. They're bad. So it's almost like, you know, being poisoned. And that's the sinister aspect of it, you know. Unfortunately, it's like the moon. You know, you might as well boil the whole clown motif down that Petersen's coming out with to the moon. You know, the entire it thing, you know, is the moon. It's the dark side of the moon. You know, that's the simplest thing of it. But the thing is, you know, the thing with, you know, all the food is we know it causes damage, so why are we still doing it? People can't control themselves. People can't stop. You know, these narcissists can't control themselves, can't stop. The thing is, when there's things going wrong, you need to try and help. if, you need to do something, we need to do something about this. There's all these bad things, so how can you do anything? Speak, talk, try to get people to help, but then you end up with like this Just Stop Oil thing, and there's Jeremy Corbyn going on about starving people, starving countries, but yet Just Stop Oil are getting together and having banquets, they're meant to be on the streets doing these protests to stop people being greedy in these companies, but then they'll get together and have a banquet, have a feast, eating action. And it's like one of those, burger, one of those big light up burger signs, neon burger signs, where his hands are going up and down with the drink or with a burger, eating action, eating action, eating action. Oh, look, it's a banquet for Just Stop Oil, eating action. Luckily, that other campaign group intervened and put some sirens on. Unfortunately, I think that's Vince Dale, his bad influence on the group, and he's pumping all the money into it from his excess corporate energy companies and Starmer. They're pumping money into Labour, but Starmer's not defending the rights properly. That's evil and clown sinister. Petersen I think Petersen is anonymous. I think Petersen is one of the anonymous movement, and he's, part of the hacking and bagging stuff up. Petersen could probably do with putting some clown makeup on. He looks a clown in all these tweed jackets and everything like that. I wanted to put the Mr. Ben programme to it, but Mr. Ben doesn't have worshippers and fans. He's not particularly narcissistic, but he's got all the costumes though. Petersen needs to show up sometimes. Where's Petersen's genius? Why ain't he getting RFK's videos back up? We've got a serious government that is meant to be honest, but they've got these fair opposition, and they're trying to censor them, not letting them speak. Parliament don't want to debate this or that. We've got MPs. I'm going on council websites trying to do petitions, but the website mysteriously doesn't work. That's the evil clown. The thing about the evil clown is that is not. It doesn't look like that. It looks not like the evil clown, but it's putting on makeup to try and make you think that this certain look is evil, but that actual look isn't evil, but it's trying to sell you that it is. Almost like, almost like these food companies trying to sell you those, these foods are good, but they're not. Now, Mr. Beast's got Mr. Beast bars up, prime drinks, they're no good. I think the Welsh government's going to be banning half this stuff. Sten Ekberg was saying that, FDA was looking at banning half the stuff. I'd like to see, Petersen is like, sometimes he's got all these expensive clothes, but he's almost a bit like Dr. Nick from The Simpsons, he's not quality. He gets the attention, but when you go into it all, he doesn't dissect it all down into, I could, in fact, this channel's limited on how long videos I can upload, so at the moment, so I have to stop, but, I could go on for an hour.